Welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we are doing another Lord of the Rings draft here. Got a pretty interesting first pick here with a Gandalf the Grey, very strong card in blue-red spells, but it is two colours. Then there's a Faramir Field Commander, which is great in white, and Gollum Patient Plotter, which is a great black card. I think the best card in the pack, there's also Eastling Vanguard and Lash. I think Gollum is the best card in the pack here. Recurring Ring Tempts You is just amazing. I think Gandalf is quite good. Gandalf is very good, actually, but it is two colours. I think if I wanted to draft for fun, I'd probably just take Gandalf, and if I'm drafting to win, I would take Gollum Patient Plotter. And I feel like drafting to win today. I think we've had a few decks recently on the channel that are a lot more fun-orientated. So let's try and draft the best colour in the set. It's black. It's also a 2-drop, which I love taking first here. And now, this is an interesting pick here. There really isn't a whole lot for us here. The black cards, Cirith Ungol Patrol is fine, but I don't particularly want to take that second. There's a Woes Pathfinder and a Pelagia Survivor, both of which I quite like. I like Woes Pathfinder. If I'm going to be in a green deck, I think I want to take Woes Pathfinders, Great Halls of the Citadel, and play a lot of Legends. And there's also Frodo Baggins, who is one of the better green payoff cards. I'm leaning towards taking Frodo. I think my Pelagia Survivor is also quite good. So we could just take that. I think I'm going to take Pelagia Survivor. I think the single coloured card, it goes better with Gollum. It's just in a better colour combination. And for that reason, we'll go ahead and pick it up here. Now, another interesting pick. There's a Erebor Flamesmith Relentless Rohirrim, but there's a Lash of the Balrog and an Oath of the Grey Host. And I still quite like Oath of the Grey Host. I think in black decks, this card can be quite nice. You get the food, you get the treasure, and then you get the 3/1 ones. It's a little bit slow, but it does do a lot of work in making your lashes better, and the spirits can really take over and win a game. So now we get a great fourth pick, Torment of Gollum here. Torment is one of the best black commons. It's a spell for Pelagia Survivor, which is nice if we stay in black. Also good signs in that there's a Deceive the Messenger in blue, which is nice. I like to look for signals, even though I'm picking a black card here. Meriadoc also still being here is another little mini signal in that green is probably going to be open, but you don't really need a signal to know that green will likely be open in almost every single draft that you do. So now I've got an interesting pick here. We could take a second Pelagia Survivor, or we could take a Troll of Khazad-dûm here. We've got one Pelagia Survivor at this point, and we're far from locked into blue, whereas we're very, very likely to be black at this point. And so I think, especially when we've got an Oath, these 6-drops become more playable because you much more reliably get to 5 lands, and Oath of the Grey Host Treasure can push you over the edge and get you to the 6th. So this is a pick where I'm, in a dream blue-black spells deck, Pelagia Survivor would be better, but we're not locked into that. There's a lot of things that have to go right for us to get there, and Troll of Khazad-dûm is just a fantastic card, so it's going to be the pick for us here. Now another interesting pick. There's an Isolation Orthanc, an Arwen's Gift, and a Rohirrim Lancer. There's also another Troll, and picking up the second Troll is something I'm very, very happy to do. It allows us to probably shave a land here. I really like the Troll. I think Rohirrim Lancer is probably a better card in black-red ring tempting you, but we're far from red at this point. We don't know, and we can just stay open here and prioritize being, the fact that we're black at this point, and figure out what our second color will be later. In a similar vein here, we're going to take one Haunt of the Dead Marshes. I really like this card. I like having one or two of them in black decks. Interesting to see an Improvised Club here, which is a better card. Bag and Porter, Generous Ent. Generous Ent's nice in the green decks, but nothing really in blue. We haven't seen a whole lot of blue. So I think Haunt of the Dead Marshes is just going to be the pick here. And now, pretty interesting pack. There's a Banish from Adoris. There's Dreadful as the Storm. Swarming of Moria is probably the best card here. There's some Mirkwood Bats. We have only 1-2 ways to make tokens at this point. I don't love the bats. Dreadful of the Storm can actually be pretty good in blue-black. I think I'm just going to take Dreadful as the Storm. I don't think we're going to play any of these other cards, and if we do still end up in blue-black, it's by far the best card. It works really well with your Orcs, works well with like Haunt of the Dead Marshes, and the Ring Tempts You is great. So here, this is a pretty late Aaron Rider of Gondor, so we're just going to pick that up as a sort of hedge. Similarly enough, we're going to pick up Woe's Pathfinder here and just stay open. We've got 6 good black cards here, and now on the wheel, we're going to just pick up the best cards and keep ourselves open to whatever we were to open here. If we were to open like a really good black-white card or just a good white card, then we could take those. Now there's a Relentless Rohirrim, but there's also an Ents Fury. I think our 4-drop slot is going to be pretty full, and I think Ents Fury... Look, if green is wide open, I think it's actually fine to play, and I don't mind green-black, particularly if you get some Rises of the Witch Kings or Old Man Willows. Woe's Pathfinder also does the same thing as Pelagia Survivor in that it can ramp you into a turn 3 Torment of Golem, or turn 3 Oath, turn 4 Troll of Khazad-dûm is also a nice possibility there. And wow, okay, so Cirith Ungol Patrol will actually very likely play this card. Sacrifice another creature, draw a card. Works really well with Haunt of the Dead Marshes, and your cheap little amass tokens here. Okay, wow. So, wow, this is a pack. So, a lot of interesting decisions here. There's a Woe's Pathfinder, which is important to note because we'll likely wheel this. But there's a Shelob Child of Ungoliant, a Fearfire Foes, a Bilbo Retired Burglar, and a Shadowfax. So there's a lot of bangers in this pack. There's also a Birthday Escape. We haven't seen much blue, so I'm not really inclined to take that. We could take Fearfire Foes as the best card and look to splash it, but I think when there's a Shelob staring you in the face, you're just meant to take it. This card is really hard to deal with. It's an 8/8 Death Touch with Ward. It gives spiders you control Death Touch and Ward 2, and it makes food tokens. So, yeah, I think we just take Shelob here, and we're probably going to go into green-black. And now we're almost definitely going to go into green-black because we've got an Old Man Willow here. So, pretty happy to just cut this other stuff and look to go into green-black here. We need to pick up some removal, but we've got one Ents Fury, which we're really glad we took now over the Relentless Rohirrim. Old Man Willow is just, it's a 4/4 when the turn it comes down. It can start, picking their creatures and it just gets bigger. Interesting note, there's a Lash of the Balrog. There's also a Smite the Deathless, but after picking up Shelob, I think we're going to move into green here. Now, a pretty interesting pack here. Not a whole lot for us. There's a Cirith Ungol Patrol. There's a Studicones. So I think we just take Studicones here. We're going to have a lot of high-powered creatures between Old Man Willow. Golem's actually pretty good with this. And then there's, the in-range Huon, Ungol Patrol, and these 6-drops. It creates a food token as well. So, yeah, I think we just pick up the removal spell. Probably hope to wheel this Inherited Envelope. Between the Ring Tempts You and how mana-intensive our deck looks to be, I think we're actually quite likely to play one of those. So, would love to pick one up. Now there's another green rare here in Fangorn Tree Shepherd, but we don't want a Fangorn Tree Shepherd here. Card is just not particularly good. It's part of the problem with green is even its rares aren't that great. So if you are in it, it's just not that amazing anyway. So what is the pick for us here? There's a Galadrim Bow, there's a Lothlorien Lookout. We don't want either of those. I think we just want a Mirkwood Spider. I don't love Mirkwood Spider. I think it's fine, but it dies to a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that make 1/1s in this set as well. And then Fearfire Foes runs around and just picks these things off as well. Wow, so that's a very, very late Smite the Deathless there, pick 5. I think we're just going to take Enraged Huon here, though. I think we'd probably play it over Cirith Ungol Patrol. We might play one of each, but yeah, I don't think we're playing Grond. I think Enraged Huon is good enough with the Ring Tempts You to be worth it here. Wow, so now there's a Rosy Cotton off the south lane. And there's really not much for us other than a nasty end. Got a Woes Pathfinder. Got a few legends. I'm wondering whether it's worth looking to splash Rosie. Whenever you create a token, we have a fair few token creators here. Between Sirith, Shelob. I think let's just take Rosie for the upside here. We might not play it, but there is a chance that we do. And in similar vein, let's take a Shy Terrace here now. I still like this card more than most people. We're not playing Bag End Portal. We've already got enough topside here. Now we can take a Black Breath or a Shortcut to Mushrooms. I think we just want to take a Black Breath here. This card has actually impressed me quite a bit recent times. It's done some work on me. So I think we'll take it. And now we're going to pick up a Mirror Guardian here. Pretty happy with that one. Take a Strider, Ranger of the North. If for whatever reason we pick up some Great Halls of the Citadel, it might actually be playable. Picking up some of these Lothorian Lookouts. Actually, I might take a Galadrim Bow over one of them. We don't have one of those yet. And if we lack interaction at the end of the draft, it can actually be somewhat okay. I mean, if you play this on... If you attack with Mirror Guardian, and then they go to block it with a 2-2, you can actually just get them with Galadrim Bow and make it your 5-4. If they block with like a 2-2 or a 3-2 or something like that. So, don't mind Galadrim Bow. Got to look for some more ways, hopefully, to make some tokens here. Some Mortar Masters would be nice. Torment of Golems really nice, but we're going to take Golem's Bite here. I think by far the best card for us in the pack. It is interesting in that we could take Samwise Gamgee. So we could... Samwise Gamgee is very strong. We could theoretically take it and look to wheel either the Shy Terrace and the Eagles of the North and play it and Rosie. But I think our deck at this point is good enough that we just want to play green-black and not go down that heavy splashing path. And pick up the Golem's Bite here. Snarl actually quite an interesting pick here. This is a great sign for us. I mean, the rare is taken, but there's a Claim the Precious, a Dunlin Crebain, and a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Dunlin Crebain is good with Old Man Willow. It's good with Torment. Claim the Precious is just good unconditional removal, which we don't have any of. And I actually think here Claim is going to be better. I just feel like we don't have any removal that's like premium removal, and we've got to try and prioritize it there while we can. Whereas while Dunlin Crebain is very, very efficient, good creature, there are other ways to get that. Now we're going to pick up a Rise of the Witch King, which means we will play another Haunt of the Dead Marshes if we find it. Rise with Haunt is amazing. You can go Haunt of the Dead Marshes into like cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm, and then Rise, sack your Haunt, get back the Troll, and they have to sack a creature. So I'm a big fan of the Rise of the Witch King, and we're going to take that there, and probably bin Rosie here and this Shire Terrace. Particularly now that we've got another Woes Pathfinder. That is a fantastic pickup for us. This deck is mana intensive. We want to go from 2 to 4 very quickly. Very, very happy to pick up a Woes here. There's a Gandalf Sanction for the player that probably picked up our Gandalf, and would love to wheel this Haunt, but I don't think that we will from this pack. This pack's a little bit worse for us here. There's a Smite the Deathless pick 5. I mean, wow, we could have had a cracked red deck here. Really nice. We could have had a really nice blue-red deck if we took the Gandalf, but when you take a card like that, you can't presume that you're going to, get something as strong as that. And now I think we just take a Mushroom Watchdogs here. I think we'll play it. It's a 2-drop. We do have a few ways of making food, so happy to pick that one up there. Now we're picking between a Chance-Met Elves, Many Partings, and Pippin's Bravery. I think let's just take Many Partings here. I don't want to play either of these, and we can play this over a land. Now there's a Shelob's Ambush or a Generous Ent. I think we want Generous Ent, actually. It's great with the little combo. And we can probably actually just play a Galadrim Bow instead of, like, it does a similar thing to Shelob's Ambush, while being a little bit more expensive. Take a Cirith Ungol Patrol. Don't particularly want to play that, so we're going to hope to wheel something here. We do wheel Eagles of the North, which I'd rather play over... We could play this instead of with Rosie. Like, we could actually do that, but I think we don't necessarily want to. I think we just pick up a Mirror Guardian here. Cut this many partings. Wow, Rohirrim Lancer. That is a very late Rohirrim Lancer. Another one. Wow. So, friendly rivalry. I mean, someone can have it. 13th pick. Rohirrim Lancer there. So, yeah, I think our decks is good. We moved into black off the first pick. Best color. We got a few really nice things, but green kind of came as a secondary thing there with, opening Shelob, Old Man Willow, the late Woes Pathfinders. But yeah, I think this deck is pretty good. It's going to be mana intensive, so I think we can shave a swamp here. We want 10 green sources and 9 black sources, given we've got Woes Pathfinders and we want to play them early. So yeah, let's see how this one goes, and I'll see you in game number 1. Alrighty, on to game number 1 here. This hand was a keep. A little bit slow, and I think we're probably... Depending on what we draw here, I think we can wait 1 turn to see whether we cycle Generous Ent. And again, I think we can wait another turn given we don't have any plays. We want to hold to see what we draw and how our hand develops here. Now Pelagear Survivor from the opponent. I think, again, we're just going to hold, go to our turn, and now Mirror Guardian that's a nice one, because now we can go Mirror Guardian, and then we might actually be able to set up our little Galadrim Bow here. And if we can't, we'll just Torment of Golem. So Birthday Escape from the opponent. Pelagear Survivor can now get in, but we don't mind that because they might like Treason of Isengard here. Not another Birthday Escape. So now they've got a looter. That's nice for the opponent. And they're going to... Okay. So I think here we just attack in. I think if they're going to block and use a card, we can potentially 2-for-1 them. No, okay, they're not going to do that. And now I'm very happy we didn't cycle the Generous Ent here, because we've drawn our 5th land. So it's very likely we're going to be able to... get them. And I was actually going to say, I think it's likely they have a Glorious Gale here, because just because of the way they've played their hand out. So this is interesting here. They're green, blue. They can cast the Bath Song next turn, or Lorien Revealed. I think Lorien Revealed's actually worse for us, because they can... Although the card advantage... It's interesting. They've got this loop here where they can loop back the Bath Song. And it might actually be better to just force them to use all their mana on a Lorien Revealed and tap out. They're going to be tapped out one way or the other. But they have to play the land that way. I think because this lets them see more cards and they're looking for white, we actually just take the Bath Song. It also stops them from being able to loop it. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Could be correct to just take Lorien Revealed here, but it kind of forces them into just playing Island, play Lorien Revealed. They can't loot this way either, so that's another benefit of that, is they have to, they're effectively tapped out now. I think we just want to bash in. The question is, do we want to play Galadrim Bow here? It gives us 1 point of damage. I don't actually think it's worth it. I think it's worth holding the surprise. And now next turn we can play Shelob if they tap out, or we can play Generous Ent. So Birthday Escape here from the opponent. They're obviously looking for a white source here. Also getting the ring, but no white source for the opponent. So they're going to have to play some stuff. Otherwise, they're in a bit of trouble here. So they've held up Glorious Gale. Now I've got Troll of Khazad-dûm here. Let's just go ahead and attack. They can't counter the Galadrim Bow here. So they might like double block. Yeah, we can just Galadrim Bow now to take down the Pelagia Survivor. They can't counter this either. So now we get to equip it onto our Orc. And eat the Pelagia Survivor. We'll choke that mana again. And I mean, now I've got lethal on board. So just go ahead and pass. They've got Glorious Gale in hand, but they've just wasted 2 more mana there. I mean, now they're just going to play like... They can play Samwise and Pippin, but it's a little bit awkward for them because they need to get it down. Oh, here's Generous End. So they've tapped out, which is great for us because... Now we get a free turn here to just slam one of our creatures. And next turn we can play Oath of the Grey Host. So I think here the question is, do we want to play Troll of Khazad-dûm? No, we just want to play Shelob of Ungoliant here. No attacks from us. We've got our big creature down. And we can start getting in. Opponent can still easily win this game. I mean, Pippin is such a strong card. We don't have a ton of ways of interacting with it. The Glorious Gale is eventually going to get to counter something here. They're going to have to chump now, I think. Yeah, okay. So Claim the Precious is fantastic for us. We just get to go ahead and claim that Generous End. And then make our... Probably make the 3/4... the Legend. I think maybe actually make Mirror Guardian the Legend. We want to actually move the bow across to the Guardian to make it the 5/4 and then attack with both of our creatures here because that way they can trade the 2/2 for Pippin, but they might have a Rebound spell or something here. So Hiveland Knots, okay. They're going to tap down Shelob this turn. They can use their food this turn, but we're going to get to bash in. They're probably going to chump, sack that food, take 2, I think. Or maybe like trade, take 1, get back Samwise maybe. No, so Samwise is just coming in. But it doesn't actually get them anything. Oh, it gets them Generous End. Okay. That's nice. They're still in an awkward position because they have to... So they've made Woe's Pathfinder their looter here. They can trade Samwise and take 5 damage. Okay. So now they're at 1. We can end our turn. And the good thing about this is if they go ahead and... play Generous End this turn, which I think they will. Got Generous End, Glorious Gale. Oh, so they're going to loot, actually, here. No, they're not going to loot. Okay, so what do they have in hand that they're not playing Generous End here? Okay, we're just got to attack here, I think. No, so they can tap this to give another target creature +3/+3, but then they can't give Pippin protection, so they can trade Pippin here. I think we just got to attack, see what they've got. It's probably like Soothing of Smeagol or something. Yeah, so they're probably going to Soothing of Smeagol, Shelob here. Giving protection to Woe's Pathfinder. Yeah, okay. So that resolves. The ring tempts them again. This has pro... It doesn't have pro creatures yet. It will, though. Having all these 6-drops in hand is actually a little bit clunky. I think that's fine. So now we just oath with the Grey Host. They're going to get a food, but they'll lose some life. We get some more mana. We're going to have one of them countered here, I think. Probably just Troll. But I think getting the oath ticking with the to get the flyers out is the priority here. Because now they're gonna Ant and Gale hold up Gale, and we're gonna just basically start passing until with the flyers. The turn after we get this, well, they shouldn't be playing their lands here. They should be attacking with their looter and cycling their lands. Like they don't need to. They didn't need to do that this turn. They could have got a loot in. I say that, but if you watch this channel, you know that I punt things like that all the time. So, all right. So they're getting in here. We can sack this food. Game 3. They're at an effective 7 because they've got the food off the Ant. We take 3 to the ring there. Okay. So now I've got a treasure. Okay, I think we can just force them to counter this here. Yeah, I think we just force them to counter in range 2, and if they don't counter it, it's actually pretty bad for them. They kind of have to. Oh, wow. Okay. So the ring tempts us. We'll keep Mirror Guardian as our ring bearer, and now let's move the Galadrim Bow over to Enraged Huon, and then Generous Ant can't block it. We also get to loot here, so we can loot one of our big creatures if we draw something nice. Mirror Guardian. No, I think we just pitch the Guardian here. We're just going to be casting one spell at a time here. Opponent's going to sack that food. They're going to go to 3 here. We have a great blocker, though, for Generous Ant. So opponent, like, there, I think that they're meant to counter. I don't know how they sort of win this game if they don't. They'll effectively let us get another creature onto the battlefield. And now that they deal with Mirror Guardian, Enraged Huon becomes the legend, and it can also sneak under the little Generous Ant. So they're getting in again. They're looting away lands, which is obviously like huge for them, but we'll also get to do the same thing. We're going to go to 13 here. The 3 1/1s are coming down though, so that's massive. They put Goldberry in the bin. Okay. So now they can block our Mirror Guardian. Council's Deliberation. Now when they scry, they'll get to draw a card here. We don't want to give them legendary, so we're not going to let them counter. Oh, so they get a food as well. Okay. So 2 turns now to kill them. Now I think we just throw down a troll and let them counter the troll. They have to counter this. I mean, it's like counter this or let us get Shelob next turn. But I mean, we'll play Troll next turn anyway. Like, Troll is better on this board than Shelob. So we just don't want to give them the ring tempts them on Lothlorien. So we could attack here. They block. It doesn't really do anything for us. So we'll just hold here. Actually, we should have attacked to get the loot in. I say that before they missed a loot. I missed a loot. We all miss a loot. Woes is going to get in again. They're going to pitch their island. It's been an absolute slog of a game. So we got a 9 here. Land. Okay. So let's go ahead and start by... They can eat one of our spiders here. So I think we just got to ship with the team. Yeah, let's go ahead and ship with the team here. Rise of the Witch King's nice. Okay, so let's pitch an island here. Now we can post-combat Woe's Pathfinder and Rise of the Witch King. Getting back Troll of Khazad-dûm. So that they can block here and then give it protection. But this way, if we just attack with the flyers, they would reach, eat one, and we'd only deal them 2. Whereas now we attack with everybody, it puts a little bit more pressure on how they block. Like, they kind of have to use the Ent to block the enraged Huon. Now they're going to chump block here, and then they're going to take 3. So this works quite nicely for us. They'll give protection there. And Woe's Pathfinder is very good for us in this spot. Because we can... So the question will be... Like, we're going to Woe's Pathfinder now. And now the question is, do we sack a 1-1? And I think we do, because we can put the bow on it to be lethal in the air. And Troll of Khazad-dûm is worth it. And we can block if they attack with the 1-1. It's gonna give us a 1-1 blocker here in case things go a little bit funky with the ring. So we sack the Spirit here. They're sacking Lothlorien Lookout. We could get Oath of the Grey Host, but I think we just get Troll of Khazad-dûm. It's going to make it lethal next turn. And now we can block that Woe's Pathfinder. We can block the 2-2. If they attack with the 5-5, I think we just chump it. Depending how they attack. Like, they could give pro creatures to something here, but if they have a way to kill our 1-1, they can give pro creature and get us, but we just got to hope they don't have a way to do that. Maybe we're actually meant to leave back 1-1-1 there. We'll see. So pro creature, probably going to swing. If we can block the Woe's Pathfinder, we're all good. They have removal. So they're looking here. Unless they're slow rolling us. Let us go to blockers, please. Please. Oh no, they've got something, I think. Nope. Okay, we block the 1-1. We take 5, get them in the air, we get the win. That was an absolute slog. Smash that like button for that game and make sure you subscribe as well. And I'll see you in the next game. Alrighty, welcome to game number 2 here. This hand's going to be a keeper. Haunt, Mushroom, and Galadrim is a good little combo. A good little curve, sorry. And then Torment of Golem is a great one. It's got nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll keep a land on top here. Ent's Fury is interesting. I think we probably want to bottom this. I think our deck can do better, and we want to hit land, so it's worth just bottoming that one there. Now, Immortal Muster from the opponent. We'll happily trade our Haunt here, given that we can, bring it back at some point with a legendary, and now we can go and get Mushroom Watchdogs, and that's particularly enhanced by the fact that Mirror Guardian will eventually make something a legend, and we can then bring back Horn of the Dead Marshes. The other benefit of doing that now is that it effectively stops their other cards from having haste. Their other amassed cards from having haste, sorry. So now we'll go ahead and attack. They're probably going to block here, and we'll get to get them with Galadrim Bow. So we get to equip here and effectively eat the 2-1 for free. They get the 1-1 left over, and opponent missed a land drop there. So that's massive for us. Now we're going to have the 3-4 reach Watchdogs. And we can play Mirror Guardian or Torment of Golem next turn, depending on what they play. So Galadrim Bow has actually been surprisingly good here. I think that when you're trying to curve out, it can be nice. So now let's go ahead and start by tormenting, just to make sure there's nothing in there that we don't want to see. Probably going to smoothing of Smeagolast now. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. They can get the 1-1. So now they've got Golem's Bite. Their hand's actually quite good. Can Golems bite out 2/2 here. Deceive, Isolation, Bath Song, Claim the Precious. I think we just want to take a Claim the Precious here. Yeah, I think it's going to be the best card. It gets them to the second ring, tempting, which is going to start looping them cards and get them closer to Bath Song. I mean, they're still going to get to do that with Uruk-hai Berserker here, but now next turn we're probably playing Watchdogs and equipping Galadrim Bows. It uses their mana best, unless we draw a land, in which case we're just going to slam in ranged Huon here. So opponent, no plays there. So they've got Deceive and they've got Golem's Bite. I'm pretty relaxed here. I think we just attack. They're probably just going to Golem's Bite it. No, they're going to Deceive it and then block. Okay, so they get to eat our creature there. That's fine. And now we can Watchdogs or we can Mirror Guardian. I think we just Watchdogs and equip the bow, make them use it on our worst creature if they want a Golem's Bite here, which I think they will. So opponent, I mean, their deck seems pretty good. Lots of 1-drop and cheap cards here. Makes me wish maybe we took the Bath Song, because I think that's going to wreck us a fair bit here. But if we draw land next turn, we can still cast it. Got a lot of our better draws still in the deck. There goes Isolation or Orthanc. So they must have, land something nice. So I think we want to just cast Enraged Huon here. Make the Huon legendary. And then going to get, if we draw land, we can Mirror and bring back Haunt, or just double Mirror. Torment of Golems. So they're going to take Cirith Ungol Patrol, I think, here. Yeah. So that's nice for them. And now we can, I think we just equip here a 5/7 and play Mirror Guardian. We don't get to, I think we just want to take out their Orc here. They're letting us in, okay. That's good. I didn't want to trade there, but now we get to Mirror Guardian. They're going to Bath Song, I think, this turn. I just think it's very likely that they do that. No, so they drew Claim the Precious, okay. That's good for opponent. Okay, they get in now. So they made the 3/2. Pitching Dunlin Crebain. Wow. Opponent's deck is really nice. Like, this is double Claim the Precious, Golem's Bite, Torment. So many cheap cards. This is exactly what you want blue-black to look like. And now they get back Dunlin's Crebain? Okay. So now I think we just want to attack. And stupidly, we should have played. It's a massive punt. Should have played a creature first before we did that, but they didn't block, so get let off the hook there. Now we can Woe's Pathfinder. Opponent's going to make a 6/6 here. I think they actually would have been better off trading and then getting the next 2/2. Because now if we draw any removal for this 6/6, they're in a fair bit of trouble. If like that play is Dunlin Crebain. They need to get the Bath Song going at some point as well, but I think they have to play Dunlin Crebain here. Yeah, so they get the Crebain down, they get the 6/6. We can, like, the equipping doesn't really do anything. We're just going to stick the Generous Ant this turn. Yeah, so we want to play land, play Generous Ant here. We're taking 6 from there. So no attacks from us. I think we're in a bit of trouble though, just from this 3-2. Potentially, like, we're meant to block. I think we might be meant to block next turn with equipping the bow, make it a 2-3, and then block it that way. Looks like they've got removal here for the Ent. If they did, they should have probably attacked with Dunlin Crabane there. So yeah, now I think we just want to equip up here and say go. Now we're in a fair bit of trouble because the Dunlin Crabane, they've got a Bath Song, they've presumably got cards in hand they can get rid of. They're also going to be able to attack here. We'll trade. They'll make the Dunlin Crabane the Ring Bearer, and that'll probably take us out. Especially considering. So yeah, now I think we actually need to chump with one of our Mirror Guardians here to get the other one to be our Ring Bearer, so we can loot away here. So Ring tempts us. We're going to get to play down our Haunt of the Dead Marshes here. Bath Song from opponent. So now they're really doing the business. Land. They'll play a land here, I think. I assume they're going to have a land, yep. What could they have for blue? Looks like they might have a land cycler here, or they've got like a Deceive the Messenger. Birthday Escape, maybe? I think, yeah. So Birthday Escape, they get the Ring tempting. So now that thing's a lethal threat. We get to Haunt and Scry here. So Golem Patient Plotter. What does that do? It does allow us to loop effectively with Haunt of the Dead Marshes here. So if we get Golem, we can play Golem, equip Bow, chump here, bring this back. Yeah, I think keeping Golem on top's actually pretty good here. Probably should have played this land, but we can equip food and yeah. So I think, do we want to equip or do we want the mana? It's the question. I think we actually want the mana. It's worth more than the 1 damage here. So let's go ahead and attack. Ooh. Okay, so Shelob's interesting. Shelob actually isn't that good here though, because if we play it, they just get through with this and kill us. I think the land's actually better than Shelob in this spot, because now we're going to get to go land, Golem, food, and then chump, bring back Haunt of the Dead Marshes. And then we're threatening lethal next turn. So I think this is our line to win. I don't think Shelob actually does it. So we've got to go play this, play Swamp, crack the food, and then say go. And now we have 2 chumpers for here. We're going to want to chump with Haunt because then we can bring it back, and Golem and Mirror Guardian are both lethal threats here. This is really going to come down to what's in opponent's hand here. And also what's on the top of our library. Like a Rise of the Witch King would be pretty nice. Because we could sack Golem in ranged Huan and then this would be lethal. So no attacks from opponent. We can't block. But that's the right line because we can't scry now. We do get to loot. They need a blocker because now I can equip Galadrim Bow. Yeah, okay, so here's Pelagia Survivor. Stew the Conies. So I think we equip here. Stew the Conies onto the Pelagia Survivor. They can't block here and they can't block both of these. So I think that's the line here. But I don't know if it's going to win us the game. So let's just go ahead and swing out here and then post. We'll see what we draw first. And then we can stew the Conies. Okay, so in ranged Huan, I think we just got to go for the win here. Pitch this. Now stew the Conies. Mirror Guardian is going to stew onto the Pelagia Survivor. And then we just hope that this is enough. They're probably going to have like a smoothing of Smeagol here or something to stop this. Oh, Saruman's Trickery. So that's going to do it. They're going to eat Golem. Block there. Good game to the opponent. Played that well. And Shelob's Ambush as well, so bang. Alright. The ring tempts us. Horn of the Dead Marshes. There's a full ring bearer now, but it's not going to be enough. Good game. Lost number 2. That was a pretty close one. We almost got there, but Bath Song really did it for the opponent. That deck was really sweet, and I'll see you in the next one. Alrighty, on to the next one here. This hand's going to be a keeper. Going to cycle this Troll turn 1, and then we can Haunt turn 2. The second Troll. So let's just go ahead and cycle one now. Depending on what we draw here, we might actually just cycle the second one as well to give us the lands. Being able to go turn 4 Oath into turn 5 Shelob is very nice. So opponent's just cycling their Wizard's Rocket. Okay, so nothing from opponent there. I think we just want to cycle this first using green mana. We want to cycle before we scry here so that we can draw something on top if it's good. Go and get a Swamp. And then we just want a Haunt of the Dead Marshes. Now we're going to go that into Mirror Guardian. Oath Shelob is pretty nice curve. So Cirith Ungol Patrol is actually, I think, one of the ones that we keep on top there because it's really good with Oath of the Grey Host. So being able to sack all the tokens and draw cards is just busted. It's so strong. And now Pelagia Survivor from opponent. We're going to get a Mirror Guardian down here. And say go. They could have Stern Scolding. Not too worried if they do. If they did, they should counter that. It's one of the better targets to counter. You're not going to get many more out of green-black there. The other reason to keep Cirith Ungol Patrol is like if we use our treasure token to cast it instead of Shelob, it's not the worst. Arwen's Gift. Nice one from the opponent. I'm going to be putting them under a bit of pressure here though, hopefully, with Oath and Shelob. These blue-red decks are some of my favourite decks to draft in the format. And Claim the Precious is a very nice one, obviously. Get in here with the 4-2. Deceive the Messenger. Okay, so basically they just save 3 life and get a 1-1. It's not the greatest. So now Oath comes down and hopefully we draw a land next turn and we get to just slam Shelob and then follow it up with Ungol Patrol, or if we draw another land after, we can stew and claim in the same turn. So opponent's just drawing a ton of cards. They're just drawing a lot of cards. And there's the land. So now, yeah, we get to just go. And we can attack here. And if they, I mean, I'll just trade Mirror Guardian at this point. Kind of want them to trade because the shell up. So they're just chumping. Okay, now we just get to shell up here. And now that's a reason to play shell up after, is because they could have chumped shell up now, but now they have to, they're going to have to chump with something a little bit better. So I think we're in a pretty decent spot here. Ward 2 on shell up means that I don't think there's many cards in the set now, unless they have another land. Well, they've got a treasure actually, so they could go like Soothing of Smeagol and pay the ward cost and we just play it again. So there's another land. We get 3 1/1s. That's nice. I think we play land and then we just bash with both here. They're probably going to bounce it, I think. I'm happy for them to trade there. You just get in. And now I think so we get our food token here. I think we want a 1/1 flyer to be legendary, so we get an extra legendary creature here. And now we're just going to Sirathongal Patrol. Get that down. They've probably got Glorious Gale here, but I'm happy something's going to get Galed eventually, and they're just in a lot of trouble. Got a nice little Pelagia Survivor wrapped up with some food. So Bewitching Leechcraft here. So we get +1/+1 counters on it in some way. Wow, so they're pitching Oliphant. They obviously just need the mana, I think, here. We can just swing out with the team. Sadly, we don't have the second Ring Temptings yet, but we're going to very soon. We can just crack both of our foods at end step to bolster the life total. But once we get to claim, we're going to get to cycle away these lands, so there's no point playing them now. Here's Eomura of the Riddermark. That is going to die. So we just kill this now. There's no point letting them attack. This gets around Soothing of Smeagol as well. We get another token here. Now we get to just eat Eomura of the Riddermark. She loves hungry. And Golem's Bite. Another good one there. So now we've just set up with removal. We're just going to keep attacking. We can eat all 3 of the foods next turn. And go to a very healthy life total. An opponent's just trying to get their creatures down here. Golem's Bite. Gloyan. So now we'll just kill. Let's just. Oh. So we can add 1 mana of any colour. Interesting. I think we still just want to sack it for the food. So that's what Shelob can do. Shelob can still use their abilities. Okay. That's cool. Shelob's a really cool card. Really, really interesting one. And now I think we just claim the Precious on the Gloyan. And I think we make Haunt of the Dead Marsh as our Ring Bearer here because it allows us to get the extra damage in, get the loot in as well. And Galadrim's Bow is nice. So now we're pretty well set up here. They're at 4. They're dead next turn. We've got 2 removal spells in hand and a nice little combat trick here. And they're looting away one of their blockers. So probably looking for like Fear 5 foes here. Knight of Dol Amroth. That's not going to do it because we can just... Oh, they've got food. Okay. Ooh. Waiting for the server here. 1 second. I'll just pause this while we fix this issue. Alrighty. So just quickly there. The opponent conceding must have made the game crash. But we got the win here. The second win. So we're 2-1 after that game. And I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty. Back now for game number 5. This hand is a definite keep here. We're going to cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm, play Mushroom Watchdogs on turn 2. And then as long as we just hit one more land here, we'll be able to go Oath of the Grey Host into Shelob, and Old Man Willow is particularly nice with Oath as well. So, because you can, as is Mushroom Watchdogs, but you can sacrifice the tokens and start pinging things. Stew the Coney is also great. So now we can just attack in here. We can always Stew the Coney something if we want to on that end step, just to maximize mana efficiency, not minimize anything. Stew the Conies would allow us to hit with the 3/3 here, but looks like opponent's stuck on lands, and that is probably going to be the end of this game here. I think we can probably just want to try and maximize the damage that we're going to get in here. So let's go ahead and sack this food token. Make Mushroom Watchdogs 3/3 Vigilance. And then, next turn we can, if we do Stew the Conies, we can get the food token. And really, I think it's about putting as much pressure on the opponent as we possibly can at this point of the game. So, no Shelob for us, but we will get to go in with the Watchdogs. The question is, do we play Mirror Guardian and Woe's Pathfinder? I think it's better to just hold the token here, given that Old Man Willow can use it to take down a creature the next turn. And it also enables us to cast Shelob if we draw a land. But yeah, opponent just stuck on lands. They're pretty unfortunate, but we'll take 3 and 1, and I'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, on to game number 5 here after that absolute beatdown. This hand's going to be keep as well. It's a little bit slow, but I think with Mirror and Stew the Conies, we can potentially slow the tide here until we get to our bigger drops here. We'll cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm here. There's no point holding it till the end. We effectively show our opponent we have a land cycle there when we play a forest and don't have a play. Now I've got the Black Breath, which is actually not a bad one. We're in the green-black mirror here. So Black Breath can take down Haunt of the Dead Marshes, but it can also take down Dunlop Crebain. So going to get a little bit of value here in that I think we want to play a creature first. Opponent holding back the 2/2, so they obviously want to block. And now I think we can just Black Breath them here. The ring will tempt us. We'll get to attack in for 4. With our Ring Bearer, they're not going to block. And then we can say go, and they don't do anything. Oh, sorry, our opponent's in blue-black. Got a little bit deceived there by the lands. Now I think kind of have a few options here. I think we just want to play out in range 2 in here, have the ring tempt Mirror and allow it to become a 4/2. And there's glorious Gale from opponent. Okay, that is unfortunate. Now we don't want to attack because we want the ring tempting from this to actually go on one of our creatures. We don't want to lose the ring, particularly when it's a looter. So opponent's looted here. We've got a 2/2. 5 lands in hand. Okay, so Generous Ent is a pretty nice one there. I don't really want to get this countered. So I think we might just... I'm kind of worried they have another counter here, so I think we just Mirror Guardian. They don't have another counter. So this is fine. We can trade our 4/2 here for that 2/2. And then put the ring temps on the 4/2, and we'll Stew the Coney something on end step here, and then cast Generous Ent the next turn. We've now got a looter, so Oliphant's going to mountain cycle. That's great for us because it means they have to go get their mountain. Pelagear Survivor here, not particularly concerned about that, but it does mean we can Stew the Conies, the Captain of Umbar here. Unless their last card's a removal spell here, but it doesn't look like it is. They might draw one here. Nope. So now we've got the 4/2. We can get in here pretty decently. I don't think we're going to loot away any of these. Don't think we want the Torment of Golem here. I think it's pretty unlikely that they have a card we want to take, and it's better to just have Golem's Bite and Sirith Ungol Patrol here. So go ahead and stick the Generous End here, and now we're in a pretty good spot. The opponent's very, very close to dead. They've got their own Sirith Ungol Patrol here, which we could Golems Bite down, but I think we probably just want to attack in here with Generous End and play out Sirith Ungol Patrol. Now we can attack with both of these next turn and Mirror Guardian. They're going to have to chump, potentially. So Torment of Golem. That is annoying. So we can't kill anything this turn. So it would have been good there to attack with Mirror Guardian, but nothing we can really do. Actually, now at least we can Golems Bite. Well, it's a little bit different now, actually, because... So if we... Ents Fury... If we just Ents Fury with the Generous Ent and the Sirith Ungol Patrol here, it's going to put them in an awkward spot because they might have to like sack to draw a card. Now they can block the 2/2, but yeah, they have to chump Generous Ent. They have to take the Sirith Ungol Patrol, and the writing's on the wall at that point. So 4 and 1. Let's see if we can close this one out and get the trophy. Alrighty, on to game number 6 here. This hand is definitely a keep. We've got Horn of the Dead Marshes into Woe's Pathfinder, and we're going to scry and look for something big to cast here. Pretty happy to just put a land on the bottom here, given we've got Troll, which means we can go get a land if we need one. And yeah, if we kept the land on top there, and then we drew that land and then another one, we're going to flood out pretty quickly, and we're really wanting to draw like a 4 or a 5 drop here to close things, to get a threat on the board as quickly as possible. Now I'm just going to Black Breath. I probably actually should have put that on the Woe's Pathfinder, but we do want to attack with Horn of the Dead Marshes more than the Pathfinder here. So ideally now we draw a 5 drop. There is a 5 drop, so now we can actually... I think we just attack with Haunt of the Dead Marshes here. They can trade it. We don't really care. And now we can enrage Huon and make it the ring bearer. But yeah, now we're going to get to attack with the Huon and then play Troll of Khazad-dûm next turn, which is going to be a pretty solid threat on this board. Dunlock Rebane is a nice one, and Bitter Downfall is also a very, very good one. But yeah, we've just got to hope that they don't have removal for Troll of Khazad-dûm, and that we can ride this big boy to victory here. Might have been an argument to put the Ring Tempestios on Woe's Pathfinder or Haunt there, but it is really beneficial to there to have it on the Huon, given we'll be attacking with it and it can cycle. Now at least Golem's Bite we can like take something down, give Haunt the ring, or the Woe's Pathfinder the ring, so that we can recur the Haunt, or just give it to Troll of Khazad-dûm if it's going to be attacking, and take advantage of the, they block anything with it, they're going to have to sack all 3. So now they can actually block, they can triple block, but Golem's Bite will really blow them out if they choose to do that. Looks like they're probably thinking about this because they're not attacking. They've also got 3 mana in hand, so I think if they had like Claim the Precious or something, they would just snap cast it, play Sealing Vanguard and attack us here. So Ents Fury on the Woe's Pathfinder is certainly interesting. Hit us for 2. So now they can't block Troll of Khazad-dûm unless they've got their own Haunt of the Dead Marshes here. Sam's Desperate Rescue back their own Pathfinder here. Okay, so now we can actually ping down the Orc army and give our Troll. I think we actually want to do this. We take this down, we give Troll of Khazad-dûm ring bearer status. We go ahead and I think we also attack because we just want to threaten the damage. They're probably going to block here, yeah. And now they get the 1/1, but we can recur back Haunt of the Dead Marshes next turn. It also means their amass cards don't give them the additional body. Take the 2 power off the table as well, so that they're less likely to be able to kill Troll of Khazad-dûm here. 1 more ring temps as well, and Troll is lethal, so it's another benefit to making that play. If we draw another enraged Shuan or something, Troll will just effectively mean they have to triple block, sacrifice all their creatures to Troll of Khazad-dûm. They're also not going to be able to attack with the Crebain. So here's Woe's Pathfinder. Not particularly worried about that one. Black Breath's been pretty good in this deck so far. Been impressed with the card. So now they're attacking, which means they can't block again. Woe's Pathfinder of our own. Let's go ahead and just start by bashing here. See what we draw. Another Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay, so now we'll just pitch the land. Go to damage here. Hit them down to 3, and now we can just cast Woe's Pathfinder, and end step we can Haunt of the Dead Marshes this back. Don't know what opponent has here. Bombadil's Song. Okay, so turning that into a looter, it gains hexproof and it's a 2/2, but yeah, I just don't see a way that they can kill us here. And it looks like they're going to have to... and they need to leave all their blockers back. Okay. Shelob, Child of Ungoliant is a nice one, but Troll means they have to effectively triple block this thing. And we have another Troll to come straight after, so Oath of the Grey Host is also pretty nice here. We'll definitely leave that one on top. But now we can just... so they have to triple block Troll. Pitch the Golem Patient Plotter here. Because we can just get it back and recur the Haunt. They're going to have to triple block. I think they realise, yeah, that's just going to be game. They're going to lose all their creatures, and then the Troll will just... the next creature would just kill them. But yeah, nice little win there. 5-1, and I'll see you for the last 2 games. Alrighty, back again for game number 7 here. This hand is a definite keep. We've got Woe's Pathfinder, Old Man Willow, Oath of the Grey Host. This hand is really nice, as well as the old Galadrim Bow, which has been a solid performer for us. An opponent has taken a mulligan down here to 5, I think. So as long as we draw that 4th land, I think this hand's going to be pretty solid. Yeah, they've gone to 5. So if we can just draw 1 land here, I think in the next 2 turns, we should be in a very, very good position, provided they don't manage to kill our Woe's Pathfinder. Drawing the end there that turn was a little bit unfortunate in that we can't we can't cycle it this turn. So now I think our only option is to really cycle this, get the forest, play forest, and then set up for next turn. So no attacks from us here. And the next turn, I think we just Oath of the Grey Host into Shelob. Denethor is nice by itself, but they really do need to get another body down. The question is, do we want to play Galadrim Bow here? I think the answer is just no. We don't want to waste the surprise of it here. Now let's just go Oath of the Grey Host, get this one ticking up. We get the treasure token. We get the 3 spirits eventually, and that's going to be nice with Cirith Ungol Patrol. It's going to be nice with Old Man Willow. We just want to get them down. And if we draw a land next turn, we can just cast Shelob Ungoliant here. Now our opponent's got Denethor going, but we are going to be able to kill Denethor eventually with Shelob here.
This turn, though, I think we just want to play Old Man Willow. We don't want to play... we don't want to play out, use that treasure to play out Enraged Huon. We want to save the treasure to cast Shelob a turn early. This game is really going to come down to whether or not we can get our spells down in time. Now Enraged Huon, that's a nice one for the opponent as well. Denethor's going to sneak in here. We don't have any blocks for this turn. So I think now I've got the land. We get the 1/1s. And I think this makes this a 4/4. We can cast Shelob. Our other option is to also cast Mirrormere Guardian here. And then snipe down the Denethor, which is a pretty decent option. We could also attack here with Old Man Willow, but I don't think that works out particularly well for us. Mirrormere Guardian actually does allow us to go into the next combat and snipe down Denethor, which I think is pretty solid for us. We can also block Gothmog this turn, so that also works well. Yeah, I think we just play Mirrormere Guardian here and then get ready to stew the conies. Another option as well is to just, depending on how they attack, we can Galadrim Bow here and eat the Enraged Huon, which is also actually a pretty good option, but it is more prone to instant speed and removal and pump spells as well. It does restrict us from casting Shelob, but I think Enraged Huon does a pretty good job here. Many Partings is a nice one to see from the opponent. Now, given next turn we're going to have all these 1/1 flyers as well, we're going to be in a pretty good spot to block here. Don't know what the opponent's last card is. Could be like a Claim the Precious here. So Ents Fury. So now it fights Old Man Willow. It's going to be a 6/7 this turn, and Galadrim Bow will make it as a 5/6. So our option is to just stew the conies on it and snipe damage to deal damage to it. I think that's a pretty good option. It's unfortunate we didn't draw land that turn to sort of get it out of reach. I think we need to stew the conies here just to make sure that the Enraged Huon dies. So let's go ahead and cast this. Mirrormere Guardian can fight Enraged Huon, can deal damage, to Enraged Huon. And then the Ents Fury will resolve that fight, and the Huon and the Old Man Willow will both die. And now we can block the Gothmog here and take 3. They get another 1/1. And we've got all our flyers, and we're probably going to stick the Huon or the Shelob Ungoliant. No way we're blocking the 1/1 here. They should have attacked with Denethor. We can't block it, so it's just a free point of damage there. Black Breath is interesting here. But I think we just want to stick Sereth Ungol Patrol here so that we can set up drawing cards. It's also going to stabilize us pretty nicely. And then I think we're going to attack with 1/1 flyer just to get a point of damage in and leave these two back. One to trade with the 1/1, the Death Toucher here. Actually, there's no need for us to trade these. I think we just want to leave them back in case. Maybe we're meant to just attack there with them. I think the way the opponent's playing this, it's fine. There's no need for us to block here, given where we've got the Black Breath in hand. So yeah, I think if they... Yeah, so now we're definitely going to cast the Black Breath. They're probably going to sack that 1/1 to drain us, and we can Black Breath their 3 tokens away, and then sack a food token on end step. So now let's go ahead and Black Breath them. and get the ring tempting us going. So they can sack one of these creatures in response to drain us one. That's fine. Make one of our flyers a ring bearer here. And then I think we just start bringing the beat down here. And given we've got Galadrim Bow here, we can untap the Ungol Patrol if they attack with Gothmog to eat it. And chump the Denethor as well, if we need to. So this game's been a bit of a grind, especially considering opponent mull to 5. Their deck must be pretty solid. They're also green-black. We've been playing a fair bit of green-black here, but now we're going to Galadrim Bow on our Ungol Patrol here. And yeah, that's just going to do it for the opponent. They see the writings on the wall. We get the win, and I'll see you when we're going for the trophy. Alrighty, here, onto the final match. Interesting hand here. Not the greatest hand, but I think it is a keep. We just need to draw one land for it to be functional. That's the best possible land to draw there. We can now get Golem going into Miramir Guardian, which is a pretty aggressive little curve. They can just kill Golem. We also now know they don't have Smite the Deathless because it didn't pause to give them priority there. But now if we play Miramir Guardian, we will get to... If they do kill Golem, the ring will tempt us and we'll get that going. Got 3 ring tempting cards as well, so we're going to be able to get the ring online and hopefully get a fair bit of value from the loot, which is where you really want to be. That's something I've certainly found in this format is you want. So now I think actually we're going to decline. We'll pay 2 life here. Oh, sorry. I should have not let that resolve. Actually, no, I think you do want to just sacrifice it there because what I was going to say is the first ring tempting isn't that important. It's the second and the third. So now Miramir Guardian's down. If they kill Miramir Guardian, that's a massive bummer. But now if we get Mushroom Watchdogs down, well, that's really nice, is that they get 4 Avorks is fantastic against Miramir Guardian, but we're just going to have to deal with that. Now we're going to get Mushroom Watchdogs down, and then we can cast Enraged Huon next turn and start cycling away some of our lands, hopefully. We're going to hope opponent attacks here, but certainly looks like they've got a pretty... 4 Avorks is just one of the best cards in the format. I mean, the fact that for 4 mana you get to kill at 4-2 and then you keep it 2-2, it's really nice. It's probably a reason to not play Miramir Guardian, to be honest. Opponent now as well is just, really efficiently disrupting our hand and showing why Black-Red is one of the best decks in the format. They've taken our threat. We don't have any way to deal with the 4-4. They have a way to get the ring tempting going. And we're just going to have to rely on the top of our deck. And Oath of the Grey Host is a pretty decent one here. And that we're going to get some food, we're going to get a treasure, and hopefully we can survive until we get our 1/1s. And we can use the Black Breath to get our 1/1s, make one of them tempt, and then start filtering away these lands. Certainly that's great to see that they don't have a play. It's also a little bit scary in that they probably have some removal in hand, and that is going to be a bit of a problem. Another land is not good, but we will just hold here and ship the turn. They also could have like an X1, and they could be waiting for us to use the Black Breath just to get the ring tempting going and then play it. Like they could have an Erebor Flamesmith or some other similar X1 here. They could also have like Voracious Fellbeast or something. Yeah, geez. Okay, so the 4/4s are going to be tough for us to deal with here. Very, very difficult. We're going to need something like a Shellob or another Enraged Huon. Woe's Pathfinder is certainly not it. We will probably just Pathfinder, and I think we kind of have to Black Breath this turn because we need to use our mana, and we need to just hope that we can get... hope that we can use the ring to cycle here. We're going to have to chump the 4/4 here with Woe's Pathfinder. And then, chump again the next turn probably. But yeah, if we're going to win this game, we need to draw like 2 spells. We're not going to win this game now because Fire Inscription is just so busted in this situation against us. We're already low on life. They probably have a ton of spells. It gives them the loot as well. And then it's going to enable them to use their spells to ping us to death, effectively. Like, we're going to 7 here. They just need to cast 2 spells. We need a way to deal with these creatures as well. It's going to be a tough ask for us to come back for the win here. That is certainly a great start. I think we just want to ship in with 2 of our creatures here. We're going to loot away the forest, I think. Whereas Pathfinder is not the greatest of draws, but it does give us another chump blocker. I think now we can claim the Precious, give one of our flyers the maximum ring here, which is very nice. Play Warriors Pathfinder, and now we're just going to chump block, I guess, with the flyer here. Warriors Pathfinder does have some benefit. Well, actually, next turn we can play a land and chump, play a land and use Warriors Pathfinder to kill the 4/4. So that's actually pretty good. I think here we chump, and then next turn we can play land, and if we don't draw anything off, the 1/1, the loot, and then pump it to make it a 4/4 and trade for that 4/4. So that's going to be a pretty good turn, actually. The fact that they had Horn of the Dead Marshes as well is solid for us. It just means that they don't have another... it's likely they top decked this and that's what they drew for the turn, and they don't have a strict threat. And now they're going to nasty end it away, which makes perfect sense. They get to ping us. They can recur this. They get to draw 2. And they don't attack there. Okay, so now I think we just ship in here. Probably actually just keep 1 back. Both back here. Now discard land. I'm going to hit them down here. Now we actually can get a look at their hand here. So let's Torment of Golem them. Get a little bit of revenge here. Grima Wormtongue, Urukai Berserker, and claim the Precious. Okay. So I think we just need to take the claim because it gives them the next ring, and it also gives them the possibility of... It gives them it will ping us for 2 damage, which is very bad for us. So Urukai Berserker here, the ring is going to tempt them. We can actually triple block here safely and kill it, which I think is going to be better than not doing that. And we're actually turning the tides here pretty nicely. So if they attack with, so they're going to get to loot. They have to loot, they have to pitch whatever it is. So they got a bit lucky there. We can actually just triple block and trade here. And now they don't have a legendary to recur their haunt either. Oh, actually, sorry, they do with Grima. But that's a much slower clock. And we have a pretty fast clock here in Troll of Khazad-dûm this turn combined with this. So let's go ahead and just bash in, see what we draw. We'll pitch the Galadrim Bow here. Hit them down to 10 now. And now they're actually... No, so we want to sack this for black and keep our Woes Pathfinder, because Woes Pathfinder can block. If they manage to get the ring tempts them, we're going to want something to block. So now they can recur this. They can sack it if they want to. And they can recur it again. On the bottom. Mordor Trebuchet. Okay. So they're going to sack now, or are they going to... If they sack now, they're just dead. But we're going to want to kill... Okay, so they're sacking now. Okay, so that's... Now they're just dead on board because they can't... I mean, they're super dead now. So we can... Ents Fury, the Grima here. take that down. They don't have any blockers for it. We get to draw and discard. And wow, I can't believe it, but we're actually going to win this game here. We hit them for 9, and then the ring will finish them off, and that's the trophy. I did not think we would win that game, but managed to find the right line, play through it. The looting and the power of the ring there, just dealing that damage off the 1-1, really got us home. Pretty happy to win that one, and this was a really, really sweet draft. I really enjoyed this deck. I really enjoyed drafting green in this one, and getting a trophy is always nice. Let's take another look at it, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more content in the future, and leave a comment below with what you thought of the deck and anything you would have done differently. But this was a sweet one. We had the Old Man Willow, we had the Rise of the Witch King, and the Shelob, so we literally got all the green-black payoffs, and we had some pretty solid ones with Claim the Precious. The 2 Woes Pathfinders were really, really nice in terms of accelerating, and Stew the Conies. The Galadrin Bow was actually pretty good, and Torment of Golem was good as always, but Oath of the Grey Host as well, I think, really performed in this deck here in enabling us tokens for Old Man Willow, ramp into Shelob, and also having creatures for Seraph Ungol Patrol. But the curve of Pathfinder into Oath into a 6-drop on turn 4 is just busted. And yeah, really nice reason to play green-black, and I'll be looking forward to doing it again in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.